Hi everyone, Brother George here. Welcome back to Bible Made Easy podcast. And a happy new year 2024 to all of you. I think it's very appropriate that I post this on New Year's Day because, as many of you know, I had life-saving kidney transplant surgery on November 18th, which marks the beginning of a new life for me. And a great big thank you to all of you who prayed for me. The Lord has answered in wonderful ways. The surgery was highly successful, and now, 6 weeks later, I'm well on the way to complete recovery, and I have a very good functioning kidney. This is a life-changing event for me and my family. A new life of health and freedom from the constraints of having to have blood cleaning on dialysis 3 times a week for 4 hours per session, as well as the end of strict food and fluid restrictions, tiredness, and all the many other health problems that come with kidney failure. All that is behind me now as I enter the new year. And I'd like to testify of God's goodness by highlighting some quite significant things He did during the whole process to get to this point. First of all, upon God's leading, after my previous kidney transplant failed in 2017, my wife and I took a huge leap of faith to relocate our family from Japan to Australia to try to get a transplant. There's an extremely severe shortage of donors in Japan, and getting a transplant there was not a possibility. Then, when we got here, it was discovered that I was extremely difficult to match, being incompatible with 99.7% of the population. So finding a match for me for a second transplant was like finding a needle in a haystack. Some of my own relatives had themselves tested, God bless them, but they weren't a match. So I waited 6 years on dialysis with no guarantee that a match would ever be found, except for the guarantees of God's promises in the Bible and His direct promises to us received in prayer. But true to His word, and in answer to many other people's prayers, a match eventually did come up, and I got the miracle phone call on November 17th, with the surgery being done the next day. I was told that the kidney was in pristine condition and an excellent match for me. Truly a miracle. Another significant obstacle I had to overcome was being removed from the transplant waiting list for over a year during the COVID era. Australia put in some of the severest restrictions in the world regarding COVID and limited and even ceased doing transplants for a while due to fears that immunocompromised transplant patients might contract the disease and not be able to fight it. So that was a test of faith. We were tempted to worry that my possibly one and only match would come and go during that time. But why worry when everything is in God's more than capable hands? Thankfully, I was eventually reinstated. Besides that, up until about 2 years ago, there were other people ahead of me on the list. So even if a match was found, I wouldn't have gotten it. But thankfully, the allocation algorithm was changed to put difficult to match patients like me further up the list, and I got to the top. So if a match was found, I would get it no matter who else it matched. And now I have the kidney. Discovering that I was near impossible to match, the long wait, and being delisted was all quite a test of our faith, but we held on to His promises, and of course, He came through eventually. Here's a verse that I clung to during that time that helped me to hang on in faith throughout that period. Proverbs 13:12. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but when the desire comes, it is a tree of life. So it's been quite a long journey to get here, with many ups and downs and twists in the plot along the way. Actually, even my still being alive at this time is quite a testament to God's faithfulness and care. I first developed kidney disease 45 years ago and had complete kidney failure in 1999. During that time, my first transplant, which I got from my wonderful sister, God bless her, kept me going for 16 years. And I've done a total of 9 years on dialysis, which is not easy to do because the average lifespan on dialysis is 5 or 10 years. And it's a tough life. You have to be really diligent to keep up with the treatments, without which you'll pass away within a week or so. The journey included over 1,500 hospital visits, more than 1,000 needles and injections, countless procedures and tests, several major surgeries, months of hospitalization, and more. And yet, during that whole time, I got married, had 5 kids with my deceased wife, remarried, and had 2 more children after having kidney failure, and of course have served the Lord as a missionary and Bible teacher in 18 different countries. It's been an incredible faith journey, all by the grace and goodness of God. And by the way, please don't feel sorry for me. I have had and continue to have a fantastic life. I've seen God work in amazing ways. I've learned to depend completely on Him for inspiration, strength, and purpose. And I've learned a lot of very valuable life lessons on the way. Most of all, I've learned to put my trust in Him and His Word, the Bible, and have found that He truly never fails. How about you? Are you trusting in Him? Hebrews 11:6 says, "But without faith it is impossible to please Him. For he who comes to God must believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him." God's love for you is never ending. It's His delight to care for you. He's only limited at times by our lack of faith. But if we diligently seek Him, He will be faithful to reward us. He's just that wonderful. Again, thank you all so much for your prayers and support over the journey. It has meant a lot to me and helped me to endure the tough times. God bless each one of you with a very happy and healthy 2024. Bye.